Good morning. We're having a great kickoff to our week. We've been discussing the sixth sense all month. Well, we just started, but this is what we will be discussing. And what does it mean to us? And how can we apply it? And the sixth sense is really an intuitive factor of our being. And the better we get at understanding the mind, the way we get a better understanding substance, matter, our bodies, the better we'll be more equipped to advance in life. And it's about being aware more than anything about your abilities. And if you're not aware about your abilities, it's not as easy to cooperate with the natural laws of the universe. And when we say the natural laws are really what sets us apart for a human versus the natural laws of an animal. The natural laws of the animal is their higher faculty is instinct. And for humans, it's going to be the higher faculties, which is going to be imagination, right? Intuition, perception, will, reason, memory. And when we use these higher faculties on purpose to design our life, we can create whatever it is that we desire. And there's this field of intelligence that's interacting with us all day long. All our life, it's interacting with us, but we really don't use it. We don't apply it. We really don't understand it, much less ourselves. And this is what we're going to discuss today. This higher ability is communicating back to us. It is communicating to us in a way that brings us back hunches, brings us back ideas. And this sense and intuition is how we receive our information. So as we think, you send out, you broadcast, and you receive information, much like a phone. When you broadcast out, that means you're getting emotionally involved with an idea. You're getting emotionally involved with a vision, and you're getting emotionally involved, which is causing you to go into you could say, higher power mode versus lower mode. When we're in like a battery or on your phone, you're on lower mode, you're really not accessing at a higher rate higher abilities that you have that are you're born with. Let's look at desire. The minute you start to desire something, you begin to want, and that want turns into a desire. And when you can get that desire to a burning desire, what you're doing is you're changing your state of vibration to a higher vibration, which is going to cause you to dream, to vision, to pick up radio waves, and to pick up information from that area. As you pick up information in that area, you send back. You'll receive back information from the thing that you desire. And if you think back about this, you've been doing it. If you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, look back when you were in your 16 to 20s. Look back at what you were thinking you were attracting, and everything was in equal proportion. When you were thinking about a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you were thinking about school, you were thinking about college, you're thinking about getting a job, which that's one thing that everybody's forced to do at those ages is think about getting a job. Why is everyone forced to use their imagination at 18 to 20? Well, you're wanting to acquire your own wealth. You're wanting to earn your own money. You're wanting to live. You're ready to live. You're ready to get out of the nest mom and dad's more than likely. You want to grow. And the only thing that enables you to do that is money. So therefore, this law of perpetual transmutation is automatically turned on purpose, though. Not just to think of ideas, not just to learn memory at school. One of your higher faculties was memory. Yet in school, they didn't really teach us these higher faculties, but they did teach us memory over and over and over, memorizing so that we can take a test. But yet, that doesn't get you very far in life, because it's not just what you know intellectually, it's what you can do. So as you're going through life, life is putting you to the test. It's going to put you to understand itself. Therefore, we live in an economical world, so money forces you to understand money. But the majority of people really never get to the point where they understand it. They just work for it. They didn't understand that they can get money to work for them. They work for it. And a lot of times that understanding stays much the same. 20s all the way till their death, till they're gone. All they understood was that I have to work for money. Money does control the experiences. Money controls everything that's physical. That's why it's so important to understand money. So important to teach your children about money. What is money? What does it really mean? Well, money is truly, it's a result of services rendered. It's a result. Money is a result of services rendered. And really, that's the only way you get it. There's another way, but the majority of people, that's eventually somebody's always taking money. They get less. Or if they're taking it, then they end up going to jail. Something like that happens. Why? Because they weren't in harmony with it. They're taking something that didn't belong to them. And so money, it's something earned for services rendered, products or services rendered. There's only one way in the economic center that we can advance with money is by the services we render. Now, when I said that the normal understanding that we only have is to go to work for it, well, why did we go to work for money? You're going to say, because I had to, because I needed to. Well, that's not, it is accurate, but you did that because that's what you thought you had to do. The way we were raised and we were conditioned, we were taught to go work for money. Majority of us. Now, not a lot of people sat us down, or did we understand? We were never made to work for money. We were made to get money to work for us. Money was designed for us to use it. Now, when you can change that perception and that quality, you can change the way you're thinking. And again, because intuition, sixth sense will start to bring you ideas when you start to begin to think, how can I earn money? How can I get money to work for me? You start to think differently. You start to get ideas of how you can get money to work for you. Now, I still remember going to work for money. I remember going and doing things, getting a job, going and looking at what other people were doing to learn how to earn money. That's the wrong way to earn money. When we're looking at what everyone else is doing, well, guess what? What everyone else is doing is stuck. And everybody else is working for money. Majority of the people are stuck. 97, 98% of the people work for money. So the odds of you being around the right person, pretty slim. Now, nobody ever taught us to get money to work for us. What does that look like? Well, at the beginning, we may have to work for it. But then you're supposed to devise a system that works for you. Now, I always say do things on purpose. Do things on purpose to definite ends. To do things on purpose to definite ends means that you're going to have to sit down and think, not just go and do things. That's another part of the conditioning and the way as society we were conditioned. is not to really think, not to imagine or dream, not to advance decision make. Think of the cause and effects. Use your imagination to go into the future before you go and test something out in physical life. Nobody ever taught us that. You can fast forward through time, look at the decisions you're going to make or you're planning on making, and seeing the chain of events. And then rewind back to where you're at. Do I like that result? Is this something I want? Now, you could begin to think, how can I provide services on purpose to do things that I enjoy doing? How can I provide services to earn money and I enjoy my time? Oh, some of you done that. Some of you just picked because you had to pick because you had to earn money. Some of you went to college. Some of you worked on your programming by going to college. The only way to go to college is to make a decision that you're going to become something outside of you. A lot of people didn't know that that's what they were learning. They were getting reprogrammed. You didn't have a behavior. You didn't know how to do those things. You had to program into your subconscious mind. A lot of people don't know this. So what we're teaching is the same method. The only difference is we're not clothing it behind something. We're teaching you the process behind an idea. Now, those in college will say, what do you want to experience? What would you like to be? What self-image would you like? Now, if you want that, you've got to go learn all of the ideas, all of the memory of that person. And you've got to put them in your subconscious mind. You've got to be able to retrieve them at your fingertips. And then not only do you have to retrieve them with your memory, you've got to be able to express them out in behavior. So for 2, 3, 4 years, 6 years, maybe 8, you are reprogramming information into your subconscious mind so that you can retrieve it, and you don't get the degree until you can express it. And then you have to go into college, from college into the world, and then you pick a job according to the field you went into. And then you begin into that area of expertise, and the real training begins. The real expression of your knowledge begins. And now you do this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. To what definite end? Here's another common error. To what definite end? Now, you're going to go through experiencing life because they already told you more or less what you're going to earn. And when you reach to the limit of what that self-image can express, or whatever business you're in can express itself, according to your beliefs and according to what you learned, you're going to get to the point to where you're going to run out of time, and you already have an hourly job or you have a salary. So for the next 30 or 40 years, you've gone as far as you can go. Another mistake of the 97, 98%. You go to school, you go to college, you stop learning. You didn't know it, but the minute you graduated, you had met your definite end. Now, why would I say you met your definite end? Well, to whatever field you went into, chances are it has a cap. So if you earn the same amount of money and you put in the same amount of hours, let's say if you extended it and you worked 20 hours, 4 hours with sleep, you've gone as far as you'll go. You're still going to work the same amount of hours, earn the same amount of money. Now, you're bound because your mindset was programmed to go work for money. And that model gets people stuck everywhere around the world. There comes a point where you run out of time. M3 strategy. You trade your time for money. Wow. A lot of people didn't know what happened. It gets to the point where you run out of time. Now, this higher faculty of you is telling you, no, there's more. You know you can be more, you can achieve more. And it's the receiving set. Why do you keep receiving ideas that keep flooding to your imagination that there's more, that you can be more, that you can have more? Doesn't matter where you're at, what part of the world you're at. You're always receiving ideas. Your intuition is working for you, telling you, no, there's more, you can be more, you can have more. How can I have more? And then every now and then through this process, this experience you call life, you get ideas and you begin to think and say, no, there's more, I can do more, I can have more. I see other people that do have more. What are they doing different? Now we're going to get to the point to where you're going to see and notice, and if you do the research, you're going to see that it's rare for somebody to earn over $500,000 a year. I think it's only 1% are earning over $500,000 a year. Look it up. If you want to know, look up the truth. I think 2% fall into the $250,000 to $300,000 revenue per year. Only 2%. Don't believe me? Look it up. So how is it possible all over the world, the amount of income you'll earn doesn't fall much more than $200,000 a year? Why is it the average individual is earning $50,000 to $60,000 a year? And when you start to look at those odds, it's very rare. Majority of the people are earning within the realms of the 97%. Isn't that odd? Manuel, you look at you have business, you look at all these things, and you've been in our classes for a couple of years. Why do you think so many people are stuck?
Their belief, the way they think, also to the people they surround themselves with. But I think it's more of just the belief. The way I was, I say the way I was thinking, I always had that mindset of I could do more. I know I could do more. And that's what's always kept me trying to figure out how to get more.
Mm-hmm. So there's a driving force inside of you that's wanting you to be more.
Yep.
What stops the driving force in everyone else?
The belief.
Yeah.
If they believe they can't do it, they ain't gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah. We're looking at the conditioning at so many people, and you work with people. How many times have you tried to change somebody's habits, get them to do better, to have a better result?
Yeah, I try to help people do more than what they can do, and for some reason they don't want nothing with it.
Yeah. Very interesting when you look at the patterning of the way people think. A lot of times they don't want better results. Is it that they don't want better results? Is it that they don't dream further? They don't want further? This is what we were talking about a while back on The Strangest Secret. Was that what would stop the encouragement of an individual to want, to desire, to be, and to have more? It's a strange thing. So when we begin to look at
lack of knowledge and discipline.
Go ahead.
I said lack of knowledge and discipline.
Very good. And what we're defining right now is life and the way we think. Anything else you can think of? They didn't know they could go any further?
Conformity. They became comfortable in the program.
Conformity, that's a big one. Why would somebody conform?
A lot of people don't know that, you know, success takes a lot of being uncomfortable. That's what I was thinking, like not too all the time, that, man, I've been through a whole bunch of uncomfortable situations, but I know just on the other side of that, I'm going where I need to go, where I want to go.
But you're willing to take, a lot of people will call it risk. You're courageous enough to walk into the unknown. What makes you different?
I say my belief, being aware.
When we start to look at what makes men different, there's so many different variables. But we have one thing in common. We all have beliefs. We all have conditioned way of doing things, what we were taught. But there's one thing that connects us all and makes us the same. And that's that we come from essence. There's a soul particle inside of us. I believe that there's an essential part of a man that a lot of times that can connect, I would say maybe a little more. And I believe it's that soul particle that's guiding us. I want you to think back, everybody that's on this call, and think back about that little inner voice that almost felt like it was guiding you all the time. That was telling you to be more, to have more, to achieve more. And you said there was something about you that was always talking to you, right? It was always telling you that you're more.
Yep.
You were listening. Right?
Yeah.
You were listening. Does everyone on this call, were y'all listening? Is that what was making you different? What piqued your interest to work on yourself?
Dreams, goals, imagination. To think that we can go there, that'll give us the energy that we need to push us there. Believing in yourself. It's that essence that's guiding us.
There you go. So we're finding a common denominator. Everything else that was common was taking us to dead-end roads. Wouldn't y'all agree? Go work for money. Go to school and get a job. Get a job and stop growing. You don't, once you've gone, we stop. You go and get a doctorate and you think you've got it. I'm seeing people with doctorates and they're not living the way they want to live. People with masters and they're not living the way they want to live. There's something still inside all of them saying that no, there's more. You missed it. So here we have this sense, sixth sense, telling a man after he's got his doctorate, he still doesn't have it yet. A lot of people say, what do you mean he did? I don't have it yet. A sense that's telling him that there's more. I've met plenty of people with masters. Something inside of them is telling them they still don't have it yet. What do you think that this sense is telling everyone?
You can select to be more.
Yep. It's telling you that it's time. Time to grow again. Why would something inside of us always come to knock on our door to guide us that there's something more outside? There's something more that it's inside, and it knows that all around, it's more.
Because the essence, the spirit is trying to express more. It's continuously looking for growth. So it needs to be fed.
Very good. Receiving set. A lot of people think of the sixth sense as the intuition, the receiving set. We could never receive something unless something inside of us was wanting something. Look at that. Why would you get an idea? Why did you get an idea to have a bigger company?
I don't know.
What you had, was it not good enough? No.
No.
Interesting. There's probably going to come a time where you're at, it's not going to be good enough again. Why is it that some people turn it off? And why are they even getting an idea that there's more? It's like there's something guiding us all along the way. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. It doesn't matter what job you have. It doesn't matter how much education you have. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much business you already have. There's always something deep in the recesses of your consciousness. It's always saying, you're missing something. Look, listen. You're missing something. Interesting. You guys that are on the call right now, what was it that was causing you to receive ideas? Thoughts?
Being in harmony with an idea, selecting, going up into the imagination, the ether. We're getting ideas that are presented to us,
Why?
and it's our will to select because
But why?
it knows that we can be more.
There you go. That's a good one.
Our soul knows that we can be more, so we can select more. But it's up to us to select to whatever we want to go to the ether and pull back down and focus it.
Anyone else?
This is always seeking growth.
Very good. We were never meant to live mediocre lives. Zach, are you able to play this?
Second paragraph, last sentence. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into awareness or fragmenting into the awareness of the created. This power is flowing into your consciousness. It never stops. You're like a channel that it flows to and through. You can even photograph it leaving your body. It flows into the crown of your head and it circulates through you. As it comes into the crown of your head, it's perfect. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to do it to raise your consciousness into a greater awareness? Oh.
Few seconds in. What did he say? It's perfect. And then he said, what are you going to do with it? So, somewhere in the deep recesses of our consciousness, is it possible that there's perfection? And it knows that you're only using a fragment of it? If deep down the essence of us is perfect, but where it hits our subconscious mind, it hits our intellect, and then that's what we're expressing. Is it possible that it knows, which is you, but somehow there's an interference between you and its own consciousness? Whatever you're expressing today, whatever demonstrations you are expressing today, whatever you think you are right now, whatever part of the planet you think you're at, is it possible that there is a perfection inside of you that knows of itself, to itself, by itself? And it knows how much consciousness, how much spiritual understanding it's really expressing? Wow. Look at this again.
Last sentence. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into awareness or fragmenting into the awareness of the created.
What does that mean? Write this down wherever you're at. Write it down. There's only one way to get understanding, and that's through observing it, contemplating it. I'm going to rewind it again.
Paragraph, last sentence. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into awareness or fragmenting into the awareness of the created. This power is flowing into your consciousness. It never stops. You're like a channel that it flows to and through. You can even photograph it leaving your body. It flows into the crown of your head and it circulates through you. As it comes into the crown of your head, it's perfect. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to do it to raise your consciousness into a greater awareness? Oh, now I see. Do you remember when you were a kid in school and they were teaching mathematics and they went from, I don't know, just basic math to decimals and then to fractions with decimals? You think, oh, how the hell am I going to do this? You know, And there's always a couple of kids in the class that you hate, and they just knock it off like that. But you're not one of them. And I was always the half of the class that made the other half look good. But the teacher would come down and say, let me help you. And they give you a little private tutoring. And they'll put a question down, and they'll say, now here, this is how you do it. You put this here, you put the dot here. Okay? And they do it in front of you. You got it? And you don't know what, you don't say yes or no, because you don't know. You're so nervous. And then you put another one down, now you do this one, and you just look at it. She says, well, let me do it again. And so they go through it again, they explain it again. You still don't got it. You just don't got it. Teacher does it again. And she, oh, now I see. Now I have the conscious awareness. I can do it. I am aware. See, that's all we lack is awareness. Well, let's look at this line again. This is an important line. Let's look at this line again. This is an important line. The divine spark within you. It's within you. It's the essence of who you are. Is always consolidating into awareness, greater awareness, or that power is just fragmenting into the awareness of the created. You're just looking at present results, same results over and over and over again. That's where it goes. Just takes your consciousness to what you've always been doing. That's why people get the same results. It's all fragmented. It's not growing. It's not creative. It's not used as a creative tool. You see, when it comes into our consciousness, Andrew Carnegie put it so well when he was talking to Napoleon Hill. He said, any idea, doesn't matter what it is, any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that you're focusing on, that's either feared or revered. So you can go to the negative or the positive. It's either feared or revered. Will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. So if you're afraid something's going to happen, it's feared. That's where the great sufferer Job in the Bible says, lo, the thing I fear has come to visit upon me. Well, I guess so. You've ordered it. You're getting it delivered right on schedule. That's the way it works. If that's the vibration you're in, if that's what the thought, if that's the frequency you're on, that's the only thing you can attract. Feared or revered. Now, you may not know how it happened, but you love it. You just revere it. You just love it. What is love? When two people are in love, two people, their consciousness has a rapport. Consciousness is where we deal with ideas. Okay? Their consciousness, they enjoy talking about the same ideas. Emotionally, they're in sync. They don't even have to speak. There's a vibration between them. And of course, their sex life is incredible because that's the expression of the unity that's upstairs. So it's the expression of, and that's what makes it great. Now, you don't have to be in love to have sex. You could have sports sex, you could have fun sex. Lots of people have sex that aren't in love. But sex with love, that is the real deal. That's because the consciousness, the subconscious, and it's all in sync. The whole thing is in sync. Now, you can fall in sync. You can fall in love with an idea. That's where you get intellectually, emotionally, and physically involved in an idea. And it's the most phenomenal feeling. Love, there's nothing like love. Paul said it's the greatest thing, and he was right. Now, I'm not the greatest student, but, you know, his name was Saul. He was orangutan, and he got straightened out. He got it all straight. And he says the greatest. It says the greatest. Well, it is. What could be greater than in total sync with something very creative and very positive? Well, that's what we're saying here. The divine spark within you. It's always moving. It never stops flowing. It doesn't take a break. There's no holiday. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into greater awareness. We could have put greater in there. Might have helped. Or it's fragmenting into the awareness of the created. We just become aware of the results we're getting. And so we keep getting the same damn results. See, that's where the outside's controlling the inside. You're going to get the inside to control the outside. If you're letting your bank account dictate what you think you can do, or you're letting your past performance dictate what you think you can do, well, your paradigm's got you stuck that you're never going to do greater than you're doing.
Thoughts? Takeaways?
It's our thoughts, our beliefs on everything. So if you admit negative, even if you talk negative about a person, you're talking about yourself, and it's going to come back to you. So you have to think positive, even with money. Even though the bank account shows negative funds, you always got to admit that there's positive funds in there, and it'll gravitate to you one way or another.
By
So you
admitting
have
to
to
take
always be
responsibility. Right? If you're going to admit that there's a possibility to change that, then that responsibility is now inside of you.
Correct. And that's where you get your ideas.
There you go.
The
And you
ether,
got the power
the
again.
imagination.
When you
How to
look at the
create.
bank account, you're seeing the outside production of something that it came from before. Who did that?
We did.
There you go.
Myself.
So when you look at it, you're looking out. When we look at life, we look at outside conditions. Who did that? We did it.
Our own conscious.
It was within ourselves. But then whenever you decide that I've got the power, and you believe that you've got the power, what do you have now?
The power to do anything
There
that
you
comes
go.
to and through you.
Who changed?
Our insights, our thoughts.
There you go. The divine spark from within is now selected to change. Wow. Where was the error?
Our thinking, our beliefs, our programming that led us to where we're at. And we have to be grateful for everything that has led us here. So I'm grateful.
Most definitely. Let's look at this. The divine spark within is always seeking expression without. The divine spark within is always seeking expression without, to and through you. And it's always thinking, is always consolidating into a greater awareness or fragmenting. What is it saying? It's always consolidating into a greater awareness or fragmenting.
It's always generating us without us even knowing. It's always fragmenting for us. Even as much as we don't get involved, but we do. So it's the same cause and effect.
If nobody's there, it's still working through us. But normally we just see the production of just a result because we weren't even consciously aware watching what we're doing. Can you imagine the way we drive? Have you ever drove? You're driving and you get from one city to the next and you don't know who is driving? Have you ever been driving and all of a sudden you're going around a semi and all of a sudden you wake up? Can you imagine somebody driving their life and they're in their 30s and then bypass the next 30 years and they're 60? They were there, they were doing things, but were they really awake? Were they really consciously making those decisions and choices? It's either growing into a greater awareness or just fragmenting. We're talking about the sixth sense. What is the sense telling us? What is this sense always telling us about this divine spark from within?
Got it. You just don't got it. Teacher does it again. And you, oh, now I see. Now I have the conscious awareness. I can do it. I am aware. See, that's all we lack is awareness. Well, let's look at this line again. This is an important line. The divine spark within you. It's within you. It's the essence of who you are. Is always consolidating into awareness, greater awareness, or that power is just fragmenting into the awareness of the created. You're just looking at present results, same results over and over and over again. That's where it goes. Just takes your consciousness to what you've always been doing. That's why people get the same results. It's all fragmented. It's not growing. It's not creative. It's not used as a creative tool. You see, when it comes into our consciousness, Andrew Carnegie put it so well when he was talking to Napoleon Hill. He said, any idea, doesn't matter what it is, any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that you're focusing on, that's either feared or revered. So you can go to the negative or the positive. It's either feared or revered. Will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. So if you're afraid something's going to happen, it's feared. That's where the great sufferer Job in the Bible says, lo, the thing I fear has come to visit upon me.
The essence is perfect. The divine spark is perfect. Within us. And it's always consolidating into a greater awareness. Or fragmenting into the created. Why would it fragment into what's already here, into what's already created? Why would we, what is he saying? Well, everything you've ever done, when you stop dreaming, when you stop envisioning, when you stop caring about life, when you stop desiring more, when you stop caring about life, you began fragmenting. When you stop caring about expressing your divineness, to use your intuition, to use your imagination, your God-given right, you began just fragmenting into the created. That means you stopped dreaming. You gave in. You stopped desiring. And you began to become like them. Wow. Fragmenting into the created. That means everybody else's results. When we give our divine right to everybody else's results, when we give our divine perfection to everybody's results, look around. Everybody's just fragmenting into the created, majority of the people. Every now and then you'll find somebody to come in and just jazz it up, just change the whole thing. That person leaves and everybody just fragments into the created. They're already done. Wow. They're already done. They're 30, they're done. They're 24, they're done. Stop thinking. But yet there's this sense inside of them that keeps reminding them, no, there's more. No, there's more. 16-year-old, no, there's more. 15-year-old, no, there's more. 17, 18, 19, 20, no, there's more. 21, 22, 23, 24, what did they run into? What happens being 20 to 27? They give in. The average individual gives in. What do they give into? The divine spark fizzles away. Your divine spark didn't want to stop. Interesting. Something about you, inside of you, doesn't want to turn off, no matter how hard you blow. You have the courage. You have the courage to get up and say, I am worthy. There's a divine spark in all men. We let it blow out. We let it fither away. And still, even though you let it fither away, you let it die down, it never dies. And when it does, you and it are off to another place. Mark what I say is true, because that's the way it is. You can never blow it out. And if it can no longer communicate through you and the body, you and it are off to another place. This sense, something inside of us, always telling you that there's more. Receiving information. Because something inside of you is releasing ideas. Something inside of you is vibrating, wanting and desiring. Then you receive the idea. Many times we don't question the ideas we receive, but we also never question the desire for the want inside of us. And who was that that was questioning your own thoughts and desiring more? If you look, you will find. I want to welcome you guys to I Am Mastermind Institute of the Mind. We teach people to go wherever it is they want to go. Take a look at what we're doing. Have a wonderful day.